Well, did not expect that to be the to be how that game ended. Hey, Bruins friends, it is time to hug it out because that is a 3-2 victory over the St. Louis Blues. Welcome back down into the den, everybody. Hey. You know, when I heard that Matt Poitras got sent down to Providence at the beginning of the yesterday, I think you could probably guess that I was deeply concerned. Matt Poitras legitimately is was one of the best skaters that the Bruins had for the start of the season. For a while, it looked. Sorry, I have the hiccups. For a while, it looked like he was the only offensive, the only forward we had that it had any sort of competence. And it's Pasta was messing up. Marchand was rickety. Coyle wasn't doing anything. Frederick wasn't doing anything. Poitras was basically our saving grace. Yes. And to see him get sent down onto Prov hurts. But it also makes sense. Not in that Poitras is not in that Poitras is bad, and not in that Poitras is playing at necessarily a bad level. I think that it's that Poitras. I think that like with Beecher and with like with Beecher and Lorai before him, or rather alongside him, Poitras needs some time to. Poitras still needs some time to work out all the kinks. I still think that there's a universe in which at least one of Beecher or Lorai get sent down onto Providence at some point this season, and to work out some sort of deficiency in their play. But Poitras getting sent down, I thought that was going to be the end of it. And I mean, this game had a lot of history going into it. Jim Montgomery, his gig before being with the Bruins was as Craig Berube's understudy in St. Louis as an assistant coach. And who is Drew Bannister's assistant coach right now in St. Louis? Claude Julien. Imagine seeing that. Imagine telling a Bruins fan after the Cup parade in 2011 that this is where the world would be 13 years later. And also imagine telling anybody also imagine telling anybody that's watched over the past couple years that the Bruins started out with a really bad skid on the power play that extended to 2 for 30 this game. And honestly, you'd get a lot of people saying yes, saying yeah, that it checks out. I think I've talked about the Bruins' deficiency in power, the Bruins' deficiency and streakiness in the power play every single game this season. But at the same time, there's a part of me that's kind of like, okay, maybe give it a little bit of slack, considering that I've endured worse. I've endured the Bruins on this broadcast. I've endured the Bruins going nearly the entire month of April without a power play goal. I've seen them have an 0 for 39 stretch. I've seen the Bruins even in the greatest regular season in NHL history. I've seen them have a 5 for 55 power play stretch. The Bruins being bad on the power play is not necessarily a new thing. But it doesn't mean that it's any less frustrating. I think at this point, Chris Kelly has taken over power play duties, and I'd say give it back to Joe Sacco, but I know exactly what I'm getting into with asking for it to go back to Joe Sacco. So I'm just gonna ask you guys, throw the power play into the ocean. Throw it into the ocean. It's clearly not benefiting you. Just tie it up around the legs. Right off the Zakem. Right off the Zakem. Just don't even try with this shit. The Bruins power play is abysmal. This is the worst power play that I've seen the Bruins have in years. And it does not help. It does not help even the slightest bit that Hampus Lindholm had to save a shot with a knee, with one of his knees early on in the game, and was out for the rest of the game. Like, great. Not only are we losing one of our best defensive players on the team right now, but also McAvoy's back to the top power play unit, which doesn't work. But in these circumstances, I can understand and why they went back to it. The Bruins, honestly, for this game, they played like they deserved to win. Honestly, this is one of those instances where Jordan Binnington actually kind of shows up and does his job. He was making it difficult for the Bruins. Of that top line of Kyrou Buchnevich and Neighbors is legitimately pretty scary. So and being able to blank them for this game, big. That's big. However, the Bruins did still screw the pooch on a couple of occasions. And first of all, much like with the Leafs, if you say that a team hasn't done something yet this season, you put them in a game against the Bruins, they're going to do it. Case in point, the Blues were one of two teams this season so far that hadn't scored a single power play goal at home. The only other team was the Lightning. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, when is it going to happen? And it happened twice. A team that had a less than 11% power play scored twice on the power play against you, when they hadn't scored on the power play at home at all this season. And I'm running out of patience for both this power play and this penalty kill. Well, this power play, I mean, we're almost a quarter of the way through the season. Get your shit together. Move it or lose it. Shit or get off the pot. Whatever you want, whatever idiom or saying you want to go with. The Bruins need to do it soon. But allowing two power play goals, and both of them are so bad. The first one, Braden Shen is just for the first one. I think it's Braden Shen and that scores this one. And actually, no, I think they were both scored in pretty much the exact same manner. Someone forgetting to cover their man on the far post after a save by Swayman. I think this one, I think the first one it went to Braden Shen, and Charlie Coyle is just sitting in the middle of the ice, is plucking daisies. He's doing nothing. He is gone. He's more gone and irrelevant to the plot than like a side character in a horror movie. Just irrelevant, and just did nothing. Now, I want to be mad at these power plays is that the Blues scored on, but I think honestly the thing that I'm more pissed about is the fact that we took these power plays to begin with. The Bruins, because these power plays were earned by the Bruins being stupid in the offensive zone. And you can see from the replay, it's just Cole Koepke swinging his stick around. I mean, David Pastrnak swinging his stick around. It's just get control, and get a grip. Because this team is terrible without it. Yeah. But I think it's time we talk about the fun part. I think that it's time we talk about the Bruins actually doing well. Well, first up, we got the David Pastrnak sauce to Morgan Geekie. Morgan Geekie finally doing something of note. He ends up trickling one right through Binnington's 5-hole to cut the lead down to 1 and early on in the second, and then from a whole clusterfuck happening right in front of him, Charlie McAvoy just blasts it right to just snipes it, and Binnington really doesn't have much of a chance to save it. And then thirdly, in the Ford F-150 Final Five, it's been a while since we've brought that boy. It's been a while since we brought that bad boy back. There we go. That's where he is. The Bruins do what you're supposed to do and crash the net. Brageau is right in front of there. Marshy is right in front of there. They're all crashing the net, making things deeply uncomfortable for the defense and Jordan Binnington. And what does David Pastrnak do? Exactly what he's supposed to do. Knee down clapper from the left hand and circle from the left hand dot. That is Pasternak's office, and you don't interrupt him when he's working. And oh boy, did he work tonight! That was snapping a 7-game goalless streak, the longest that he's had since 2021-2022. The first season of Into the Den, and so the Bruins escaped this game with a win, and they deserve to. They deserve something good happening to them. But also, I think that it's crucial to state that this is what happens when you make good decisions with your team. Sure, not everything goes exactly to plan, but sometimes things actually go well. Now bring Poitras up, or for the love of God, bring somebody else up. I cannot watch Tyler Johnson anymore. Bring Merkulov up. 30 goals, 35 assists, and is for 65 points in the A last year. Bring him up. Give him another shot. You only gave him 4 games last season, and give the kid something to work with. And I promise you, he'll give you something to work with. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys again in next game. Take care, everybody.